Hi, this is Wayne of Wayne Continuum, and speaking to you today to uh, help you further along in your meditation, if you choose to do, of how to go into your heart and what that means. So, today we're going to be talking about what it means to go into your heart, what it means that this heart reality is a very real thing, real reality, and it's outside of the scientific paradigm. And we've all been conditioned with the scientific paradigm. Literally, it's like a box that we can't get out of, and everything is viewed through the scientific paradigm. And we look around and we see what this has done to the world around us in terms of human relationships evolving with other human relationships, countries with countries, people with people, neighbors with neighbors, and how humans with nature, humans with animals, birds, everything, and how what a situation the world is in right now. And we do have uh, a lot of scripture, in fact, that talks about the road that we're going down, but that's not the purpose of this video, obviously. So let's use two examples to see what we're talking about going into the heart. Let's look at the UFO phenomena for a second, for a little bit. Almost, probably all, can't be all, but so many of what you see going on with the whole UFO phenomena is you have UFOs replacing God, replacing angels, and because that's consistent with the scientific paradigm. So it uh, so in the modern world, to make for science, you've got the scientific paradigm, and then now let's bring the scientific paradigm. If we don't just drop it, then we can supposedly recover it, so to speak, although the strict scientists don't accept this. But for so many people, we can recover it in the UFO paradigm. So everything that we hear about in the scriptures can be understood through UFO technology. But you notice how UFO technology puts us straight back into the scientific paradigm. Everything is now explained with technology and UFOs. And let's say that even if that were to be the case, which it's not, but let's say it was, well, then we'd still have the further question, wouldn't we? What about these extraterrestrials that gave us all this great stuff in past history, and now we're taking their technology in the present? Uh, what about who created them? Where did they come from? What's their religion? Well, do they have problems? Are they fighting with each other? Uh, so you're right back in the same questions, aren't you? So you haven't explained anything. You've simply continued on in the scientific paradigm. The other thing we can have is, well, we're going to answer these questions. So we in the scientific paradigm, yes, say that we've discovered that this universe is 13.2 billion years old, and uh, it's expanded through inflation. So we take it back to a primal beginning. Must have been a large amount of hot gas and energy in it. And then we still have the further question. Well, what's the origin of the beginning of our universe? Well, then science says, let's go with the multiverse. It must be the multiverse. Well, but we still have the problem of what's the origin or source of the multiverse. You see how we've gone nowhere in terms of we've stayed in our head. In our head, we've got a brain. We've got a brain to do things, including to make technologies that make our lives easier. It hasn't solved anything, for our human condition. So, what's the answer to this? I just looked up on Google the Gospel of Thomas. That's one of the Gospels that was left out of the Scriptures because of what they chose at the time. And of course, it was also, I think, rediscovered, right, recently, the Dead Sea Scrolls, etc. So it's a great little scripture to ponder in the heart, right? Not for scientific answers, but in the heart. But let me read what I want to read from that to highlight this little video. The disciples said to Jesus, "Tell us, how will our end come?" Jesus said, and there's a quotation, "Have you found the beginning? Then that you are looking for the end? Question mark. You see, the end will be where the beginning is. Congratulations to the one who stands at the beginning. The one will know the end and will not taste death." So, to me, that's asking us to stand at the beginning. Stand at the beginning. Take a leap into your heart. Learn to stand at that beginning. Leap of faith into your heart. That is love. And that is a place to meet the world, the animals, the plants, the conditions of the world, yourself in the world. And what's important is that to learn to stand at the beginning and to recognize that what we've talked about today, that 18 in the Gospel of Thomas, one of the sayings of Jesus, is meaningful, is very, very relevant to life. And that's a further way to stand in the miracle. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.